Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and welcome to your F1 2022 season ratings, where I rate the drivers and teams' performances over the season. So, right, in this video, instead of starting off at the top, I'm going to start off at the bottom. So, guess who I'm going to start off with? Nicholas Latifi! Zero, absolutely zero. I mean, one of my subscribers on my WhatsApp group said I should give him a 1 for scoring points, but I judge on whole season performances. 0, shocking, absolutely. Outdone by Alex Albon all season. His high scoring end points in Japan, or wherever it was, but his low point was how bad he was most of the season and last. So that's why I give him a 0. Alex Albon, 7. Now, I think he's been very consistent this season, Alex Albon. I mean, at times the Williams has been terrible car to drive, but he's done well for himself, Alex Albon. He beat Latifi in most races, and yeah, scored Williams quite a few points, so that's why I'm giving Alexander Albon a 7, and that will please one of my subscribers, I tell you, it really would. Mick Schumacher, 3. Very, very poor season for Mick Schumacher, and no wonder why he has lost his Haas seat. Honestly, just underperformed. His high was quite a good performance in Silverstone, and also scored his first points in, where was it? Third race of the season, Australia, I think. So, yeah, that's his high point. His low, how he underperformed this season. Kevin Magnussen, now, he's been a bit hit and miss at times, so 5. Obviously, his high was getting that pole position in Brazil for the sprint race. His low was the contacts with Lewis Hamilton and just, no pace at times. He made contacts with Lewis Hamilton in Barcelona. That was the low point. And his high, as I said, that pole position in Brazil. Absolutely amazing. Guan Yu Zhou, 7. Yes, I give Guan Yu Zhou a 7. Now, he has scored quite a few points this season, and he's outperformed Bottas, so yeah, I think he's done a solid job in his rookie season, I really do. Valtteri Bottas, 5. I mean, he started the year great, but the second half of the season, bang average, honestly. I mean, for Guan Yu Zhou, his high scoring some points, his low, that massive crash in Silverstone, honestly. But for Bottas, good in the first half of the season, that's his high, but his low, very poor in the second half of the season. Lance Stroll, 6. I mean, you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of Lance Stroll, but he has done well at times, but also underperformed at times. So his high when he performed well, like he did in Abu Dhabi. His low is when he doesn't perform. USA, that was a low though, making contact with Alonso, because he's well and truly at fault for that. Sebastian Vettel, 7. Yes. At times, despite the Aston Martin not having the pace, I think Vettel's been solid at times this season, so that's why I gave him a 7. 1 for 1, Yuki Tsunoda, 6. Now, the AlphaTauri's been a very poor car to drive this season. It really has. So, yeah, his high scoring a few points, his low not scoring many points this season. How he would sum 1 for 1 season up. Pierre Gasly, 2. I mean, to me, one of the most disappointing drivers on the grid this season. We all know the AlphaTauri's been poor, but Gasly has been so poor in this season, man. Way below his usual standards. So yeah, that's why I'm only giving Gasly 2. Esteban Ocon, 8. Yes, I give Ocon an 8. At times, he's driven well this season. He's beaten a double world champion in the Drivers' Championship, but mind you, Alonso's had quite a few DNFs. But Alonso has been solid, so that's why I gave him a 7 for Fernando Alonso. Daniel Ricciardo, 2. Again, one of the most disappointing drivers on the F1 grid this season, so he's got to be 2, I'm afraid. I mean, it's high, obviously. He performed well in Abu Dhabi in the last race of the season, but his low was how bad he was in qualifying, getting eliminated in Q1 a lot. That was his lowest point. Lando Norris, 10. Yes, I give Lando Norris a 10 because he performed really well this season. He literally carried the team McLaren while Daniel Ricciardo was underperforming. And P7 nearly in every qualifying session, so consistent. That is why I'm giving Lando Norris a 10. George Russell, 10. To me, absolutely one of the stars of the season. His performance in his first whole season in a Mercedes was absolutely outstanding in my opinion. He did such a good job. He finished ahead of a 7-time world champion and got that win in Brazil. Obviously, his worst race of the season was Silverstone, where he span out because contact with another driver. I think it was with Guan Yu Zhou, and yeah, retired obviously. So that's his lowest point of the season. Yeah, really good season for George Russell. I'm impressed. Lewis Hamilton, 5. Yeah, it's got to be a 5, I'm afraid. A very bang average season for the 7-time world champion. I mean, the first half of the season was literally a disaster. And then he went on a run where he got about 5 podiums in a row, so that's a high point. Barcelona, he performed brilliantly as that contact with Kevin Magnussen. Spain, yeah, that's good, as I said, Barcelona. Hungary was good as well. And USA was really good. But his low was the contacts with Fernando Alonso, and obviously getting knocked out in Q1 in Jeddah, to me, were the 2 lowest points this season. But I could think of some more. Oh yeah, the lowest point to me, them all, weaving on the straight against your teammates. I've not forgotten that one at all. In Sandford, he literally weaved in front of George Russell. You do not do that on your teammate. Out of order. To me, that was the lowest point in them all. Yeah, shocking from the 7-time world champion, that. So that's why I only give him a 5. Sergio Perez, 7. Now, I gave Perez a 7 because at times he seemed impressive and sometimes inconsistent. His high winning, of course, in, well, Monaco, he won the Grand Prix. And also Singapore he won as well, so they're the 2 high points. And his low, obviously, being inconsistent at times. And obviously, his teammate ignoring team orders is the lowest of them all. Max, 10. Yes, you have to give Max 10. 15 wins, world champion, a 2-time world champion. So many fastest laps, a lot of pole positions. Has to be 10, doesn't it, for Max Verstappen? Carlos Sainz, 7. Yes, I give Carlos Sainz a 7. I think he's been very consistent at times with Ferrari this season. He's had, well, there's about 2 or 3 races in a row where he went out on the first lap, but they were the lowest points. So his high points was winning in Silverstone. That's a high point for Carlos Sainz. Yeah, so that's how I sum up Carlos Sainz season. Charles Leclerc, 7. Yes. Now, you may think 7 is a bit harsh, but at times, Leclerc, his high points was, to me, Australia dominated that weekend. Jeddah was very good as well. His low point was crashing out in France, and obviously Another low point, that turbo failure in Barcelona, dominating the Grand Prix, and the turbo just let go. To me, they are the lowest points of Leclerc's season, and he's made a few mistakes as well. Right, so that's the driver ratings for this season, and team ratings. Right, again, we're going to start off backwards. Williams is 6. As I said, Albon maybe performs that team, but Latifi, terrible. So no wonder why he's lost his seat to Logan Sargent. And I'm excited to see how Logan Sargent can do. Haas 6, again, bang average. At times they've been good and not so good. Alfa Romeo 6, yep, bang average really. They're good at times and sometimes poor. Aston 6, I mean at times they've been good, but bang average. AlphaTauri 2, shocking. One of the worst teams on the grid this season for me. No pace whatsoever. A very poor car in this AlphaTauri. Alpine 8. They have to get 8 because they finished ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. Ocon and Alonso, yeah, they performed well for that team half the time, but they should have had even more points. Alonso was let down by poor reliability. McLaren 7. Yes, I give McLaren a 7. I thought they were very good at times this season, especially Lando Norris, but Ricciardo was poor. Mercedes 6. A very bang average season from the 8-time Constructors' Champions. They got the design of this car completely wrong, but it did improve a bit towards the end of the season, but they need to improve on the W14, man. That W13 was a very poor car. Red Bull 10, of course they have to get 10, Constructors' Champions for the first time since 2013. Even though how much I hate that team, you have to give them 10. Ferrari 7. We had a car what was capable of competing with Red Bull, but we let ourselves down too many times. But I have gone with 7 because we did get second in both championships in the end. So that's the season ratings done for the drivers and the teams. Join me tomorrow where I go through my top 3 or 5 most disappointing teams of the season. Bye-bye.